Thanks so much for joining us, or staying with us rather, this morning. We're joined by Sean Faircloth from the Together Place to talk about recovery, but also tie in the community as well as revitalization. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm glad to be here. Yeah. Well, the first thing about Together Place Peer-Run Recovery Center is we offer these new initiatives with what are called Certified Intentional Peer Support Specialists. And these are folks who themselves have gone through recovery, either mental health or substance use. So we offer this dual opportunity for recovery. And they can say to someone, listen, I've been there with you. Right. And help people as they work forward, or not really help them, but so much as enable them to take their own path to recovery. And it's proven really effective. It's important to have a doctor, psychiatrist, things like that, but having someone that has been there through that same process really can be a tremendous support.
Right, if they makes it feel like they really have your back.
Right, exactly. Someone they can talk to and confide in, maybe tell things that they feel uncomfortable with, whereas you might not be as comfortable, say, talking to someone who's not been in that kind of situation before. So it's been really effective. We have the most certified intentional peer support specialists in this region of the state, so we don't have as many as we should have, but we've got more than anybody else, and it's really helpful. And that means it's free. You come in 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., any day, Monday through Friday, and you can say, listen, I got this issue. I'm the president of a bank, or I live on the street. Here's someone ready to talk to you right away. You don't need to show a health insurance card. You don't need to talk about what your Social Security disability is. Just walk in and ask for help. So it's exciting that way. And we offer groups of all types that help people with recovery.
Talk about artwork and the arts and how it kind of connects to recovery and people going through that rough period in their life.
Exactly. Well, we offer the kind of groups you might expect. So wellness recovery action plans, where you get a specific plan for your own personal recovery, helping people with suicidal ideation, helping people getting back into the workforce, so the kind of traditional groups you'd expect. But also, there's studies that show that people who participate in creative expression can really help sustain their own recovery more effectively. And so we offer art groups, we offer creative writing groups, we have the Bangor Art Society that's coming in on a regular basis. We have a professor who's a professor who works in the writing field and works with folks, and what we want to see is that it's more of a community center. So consistent with that theme, on the outside of our building at the corner of Union and 2nd, we have these big, beautiful murals that have really become a landmark in Bangor, all celebrating Maine people. And then on the inside, the Stories of Maine exhibit, which offers 68 pieces about Maine-connected books. So it's a great atmosphere, and we're starting to plan, in addition to art and creative writing, we'll have poetry slams, we'll have guest speakers. So it really becomes a community center that people can enjoy all across.
What?
Oh, sorry. And how does your creative, art and creative expression relate to people in recovery?
Well, a lot of times people who are in recovery, they might say, and correctly so, they've been through some very difficult times. So a lot of times in the writing groups, they might write about their experiences, including some of their tough experiences. But putting that down on paper, or doing some art that expresses your feelings, can really help people say, I'm not going to isolate myself, I'm not going to be in a situation where I'm going to look down on my own life, I'm going to create something that's positive. And you have the fellowship of other people, artists, writers, who are there involved with that. Now, that's in addition to all the kind of regular groups that you might expect for recovery that we hold every day of the week, Monday through Friday, sometimes evenings and weekends.
So let's talk about revitalization,
yeah,
and how that's changing in downtown Bangor.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you, I've been involved in sort of downtown revitalization for a lot of my life. In the 90s, I started the Maine Discovery Museum. We built a big team of people that helped kick off downtown revitalization in Bangor when things, for those who remember it, were pretty dead in downtown Bangor back in the 90s, and it's changed a lot. But something I think is an added puzzle piece that we don't quite have addressed yet is, say, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd Street area where Together Place is located, and some of those close walking-in areas to downtown. I want to see those as integrated neighborhoods where you have young couples who want to rent an apartment there. You're always going to want to serve folks who have low-income housing, and we'd continue to do that. But I think the Together Place can help with the revitalization of 1st, 2nd, 3rd Street. Stephen King, when he first got that Cary contract, he lived on Sanford Street in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd Street area and talked about how that was kind of a rundown section. Well, let's all pitch in together to revitalize that section of the city. And part of it's going to be recovery. Back in the 90s, people didn't think about the opiate crisis. There's a statistic that came out the other day that more people are dying from opiates in America today than from car crashes.
Wow.
So we got to do something to make a change, and that means all of us working together, and that's what the Together Place is about, is sort of bringing the entire community, not just saying, oh, you have a mental health diagnosis, you're segregated over here, or you're in addiction recovery, you're segregated over here. Everybody's involved in participating.
Everybody's together.
Right, and we need volunteers. I mean, if you're a writer or an artist, come down and work with us. If you're a carpenter, an electrician, we got an old building there. We need folks who help out. If you're willing to help clean, if you're willing to help at our soup kitchen, food pantry, we need people involved in participating, the full community, not just, one part of the community.
Where can people go to get more information about volunteering or helping out with any of the group classes?
Well, first I'd say is just come down and say you want to volunteer. Come to Together Place at number 2 2nd Street in Bangor, right across from the Y, and say, I want to be involved, because we need a whole menu of volunteers involved in all different parts of activity in our community. So I'd hope people would do that. You can also call 9412907, which is our office, and say, hey, I'd be interested in helping out and volunteering, and we could use the help, especially in the wintertime. There's a lot of people who face really tough situations in the winter, and we need more volunteers than ever during that time of year.
All right, thank you so much for coming on. We're now going to send things over to our meteorologist to check out the weather.